So yeah, as I said, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. We will then speak about B2B marketing strategies. But first, I will give you a bit of context about UniverSharing. So we are obviously a marketing agency. We are more than 30 people in there, and then digital consultant to work for our clients. We have a certain number of certification. We are a Google Premium Partner, Facebook Blueprint certified, and so on. We have a very large customer portfolio in various sectors, so like retail, industry, or finance. So we have a good mix, I think, between B2C and B2B customers. I think it's also interesting because we need to always find new solution in every aspect. Sometime I create campaigns for a B2B super complex product or service, and sometimes it's just retail. So that's why I think it's very interesting. So the agenda of today, so I will go with a full overview about audience creation. Yeah, I think you will still maybe learn something, but I begin with the basics, and then I will explain how to create your own audiences and remarketing strategies, and then we will discuss about three advanced tactics, so audience niche, amplification, and reduction. And finally, I will give you some tips and tricks. So between each part, do not hesitate. If you have any question, just ask me in the chat, and I will try to answer all of that. Maybe between the parts, and we will have a bit of a Q&A at the end of the presentation. So before going further into today's topic, I would like to tell you why audience are maybe the key factor, one of the key factors in B2B marketing. It's obviously also the case in B2C, but if I have to summarize why audiences is important in B2B and what the key factors are, I would say the first one is the content, and the second one is audiences. So to say that with other words, I would say the content equals what you will create to attract people, like what paper, infographic, newsletters, open doors, whatever. And audiences equal who will see this content. So today I will only talk about audiences because it is already a very large topic. But if you are interested with content marketing, which is also a very nice topic and subject to talk about, we have other experts for that, and I think other webinar also that are available in replay. So yeah, do not hesitate to check that as well. So finally, the goal is to have this kind of vision, and this is what we tend to and we try to have for all of our clients. I will not teach you something if I say that today we are living in a very complex marketing environment, and B2B is a bit more complex, I would say. And to give the right message, the right moment, right device, right channel to the right people, I think it's easy to say, but not especially easy to do. So that's why today I will try to give you a full overview about audiences and what we can do with audiences, because I think this is the point of start for every marketing campaigns. Because before talking about message, moment, device, and channel, we need to focus on who will see the ads, and the who could be very complex. from a very broad audience to a very small one, very precise one. So today I will try to give you an overview of about that. So any question at this stage of the presentation? I guess no, because we are not fully in the content yet. But if so, do not hesitate. Be my guest. So first part is the fundamentals about audience creation. So this is a global overview of almost all kind of audiences you can use in your campaigns. And before going further, and deeper into the audience topic, I truly encourage you to understand and create and use all of this, because from my point of view, it is one of the most nice and interesting aspect about digital marketing, because audiences, like we will see together, it's a very complex topic and large topic. So my first question for you, tell me in the chat, are you already using all of these kind of audiences, or maybe some of them, or just one category, or not? Tell me if you are fully aware about those audience categories or not. Almost, okay, nice. So these are I would say the basics, but the basics in these topics are already quite large. Okay, I see a lot of your reply. Not TM, okay. Okay, great. So some of you are already using maybe all of that. I will give you some tactics and how you can use that in a better way. But definitely, if you are not aware about all of this, I definitely encourage you to fully understand them and try them in the first place, because this is the basics, but the basic represents already a large part of the global topic. Okay, then to continue the overview, here it is what's almost everything you can do with user-based audiences. So I think for many of you it's nothing new, but as I said, it's already very powerful. So of course you can target customer via demographics, so targeting for age, gender, parental status, and so on. Affinity audiences. So it's proper to Google Ads, but it's a bit like the interest audience in Facebook, for instance. So you have affinity with marketing, you have affinity with CRM and whatever you want. In market, and another one, but it's a very interesting one, because actually Google knows who is actively looking for something. So for instance, if you are searching on Google best digital marketing agency, or which CRM for my company, Google knows that you have more than just an interest or an affinity with a service or product, but you are actively looking to get one. So that's interesting, because these in-market segments are, I think, well known for B2C, but it does exist for B2B as well. So do not hesitate to use them. Then we have the remarketing. So remarketing is, I think, a topic by itself, but in general, so your remarketing or your retargeting audience is the same. You can definitely create them in every channel, whatever you use, Google, Bing, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever. You can create the audience to retarget your who you want actually, because I was ready to say your website visitor, but we will see later in the presentation that there is plenty more of possibilities with retargeting. And then finally, the custom intents. It is maybe the less famous one in the user-based audiences, but definitely maybe, yeah, perhaps one of the best one, because you will be able to target people who are currently looking for some keywords and visiting some website. So for instance, you can just write some and take some keywords of your search campaigns and then create an audience with these keywords as targeting. So for instance, people who are visiting websites similar to yours and maybe your competitor's website, you can add every URL and every keywords in your audience, and then you will target people who are really looking for very precise keywords or visiting specific websites. Okay, I see our first question. I will go to the end of the section, and then I will answer. So continuing on the global picture, but this time on social media, I give you an overview depending of the goal you have with your campaigns. Again, it's not. I made I wrote some question mark in the table because it is in theory what we think as marketer, but again, not any door are not closed for forever. I talked with some colleague, and they said to me that they were starting to promote B2B also on Instagram, but we will see after what type of content we can do. But again, it's not you can always test, but definitely depending the goals normally, and if you have to start somewhere, this type of campaigns usually works well. Then something very important, because I see a lot of people, including myself at the beginning, we just receive the brief from the client, and then we say, okay, let's go. I have some idea. I will start the campaign right now. But it is very important to ask to ask yourself a few questions before start the creation of any campaigns or audiences. The first is, who do you want to target? Because of course, even if many of the channels, as you can see, have a lot of different targeting attributes, and different channels have all the basic targeting attributes are present in every channel, but sometimes you want to target people, and you will be able to do that on a very precise channel. So first question. Then, should this be expertise, technical, or maybe employers branding focus? I just talk about B2B advertising in Instagram. For instance, at UniverSharing, we use B2B Instagram for ourselves. It is always B2B focused because as a consumer, you just don't care about Instagram, but about UniverSharing, sorry. But on Instagram, we do a lot more of behind the scene of the company, of employers branding. What we do, we share sport tournaments, we share some new people in the company, something like that. We will not talk about very precise stuff and technical stuff on Instagram, but definitely depending of the type of content you want to promote, this is a question you need to ask before going to the campaign creation. Then, what is the action you want to the campaign? So definitely the call to action. I will not. You will not learn anything if I tell you that customer journey is very important. So, or customer journey, or conversion funnel, if you prefer theoretical marketing words. But depending of what you want within the campaign, obviously the targeting and the channel that you will use are not the same. For instance, if you want to increase awareness or consideration or conversion, or work on the care step of the customer journey for your current clients, everything will be different. But we will talk about that later. And finally, which platform can you afford? Because it will also depend of the budget. Maybe you all know that, but LinkedIn, for instance, is very expensive. It is sometimes between 4 and 5 euro per click. So the cost per click is very high. CPM, it's the same. It goes around 20-30 euro for 1,000 impressions. So it is expensive. And then if your budget is limited, I would definitely recommend you to not split it in too many channels, because at the end of the campaigns, you will have 100 click there, 100 click there, and more 100 click on another platform. And you say, okay, but I cannot have the global overview on my campaign. Okay, but it has worked or not. It is also more time consuming because of the setup, and also it needs more time to do the analysis of all the campaigns you have made. So if you work on a limited budget, I would recommend you to choose 1-2 channel, not many more, and go deeper in more in detail in this channel, but do not expand your creation across all platforms. So to wrap up the fundamentals part of the presentation, I put again an overview of almost every possibilities across the channel. So this one is for LinkedIn. I will give you later a few example, practical example of what you can do with the combination of all these targeting attributes. But then you have the list. The same on Facebook. Just to remind you, Facebook and Instagram work on the same platform, Business Manager, so they have all the same targeting attributes. So if you can do normally if you can do something in Facebook, you can do it in Instagram. Also, one remark about the consumer behavior, because as you know, we are for the moment maybe at the end, but we just come out of big corona crisis, and some of the consumer behavior could have changed during that. I will not talk about that, because I think you have already read and listened to everything about Corona. But if you are interested to go further in detail about consumer behavior change, we have recently published a study, which is very nice, because we have taken a lot of different insight from different sources, from of course the digital sources, but of course the offline sourcing, and we regroup everything into one piece of paper. So if you're interested about that, please do not hesitate to check it. And then finally, targeting on Twitter. These are the list. Of course, the basics are the same. We can create a nice campaign on Twitter. I don't know if you. Tell me in the chat. Are you using Twitter as a digital marketing channel for campaign? I would say not organic, but are you doing campaign on Twitter? No, not at all. Definitely, Twitter is more complicated channel to understand, because I would definitely recommend to use it for hot topics. So maybe if at some point there is a game changer in your industry, something very big, like I don't know, if I speak for myself, maybe one of the biggest change on Google algorithms or something like that. It's a hot topic. You can react to it and so on. And maybe if you make tweet, you can boost them and promote them. But otherwise, for cold topic, I do not recommend to advertise on Twitter. But yeah, and anyway, the targeting option are still there, and you can create nice audience in Twitter as well. So if you think it's nice to include Twitter as a channel in your remarketing and marketing scenario, why not? So yeah, I will take the question before going in the other section. So let me read it. Because they are too broad. Yeah, no, easy. Yeah, definitely. So the question is, okay, are in-market audiences too broad and work, yeah, less well than custom intent? It really depends because, as I said, in-market could be we have a lot of different attributes for in-market. So from as I said, B2C to B2B. So there is a lot of different things. I work I work with in-market audiences. I had good results, but definitely for me, custom intent it's more precise, because with custom intent you can really know, okay, I want to target people that are looking or visiting, looking for these precise keywords or visiting this precise website. At the opposite, in market, it is Google that tells you, okay, this guy is interested and is looking for something. Okay, but I was at my family last weekend. I was looking. I was searching in Google for golf iron for my brother. So I made the research for him. Then what about Google? Google thinks I am a pro golfer. Google thinks I have a big interest for golf club or something like that. No, I was looking for someone else. So definitely, custom intent is more appropriate for me. But sometimes the problem with custom intent is the volume you can get. So sometimes, depending if you, especially in B2B, if you have some very precise product and so on, you can be very limited. And in this case, I would recommend to use in market. But good question, definitely. Another one, do you work with Taboola? No, not myself. And I'm not sure my colleague does, but it's possible. But no, not myself. So second section, the audience creation. So of course we have seen the user base audience. They are quite basic, but in general, it is where we all start. But then to create your own audience, you can go further and create your own remarketing list. So for example, previous visitor to your website. So it's of course not the definition, but the basics of remarketing. Definitely, I will encourage you to do remarketing, but we will see after that there are other things to do with remarketing, because website visitor is the audience that is created automatically, so we all use it. But there are more possibility. Upload your contact details, so using your prospect or lead or customer email address and other data, phone number and so on. You can upload this listing into Google or Facebook or LinkedIn, and then the platform will match the email address you have uploaded with an actual profile. So this is very interesting, because you can actually target some specific people and not only people who have an affinity or an interest with something, but then you can retarget the people who have downloaded a brochure from you, something like that. Third option, activity on the platform. So of course it's based on behavior, but again, be aware that all of your website visitor does not have the same value. Someone who is looking and visiting your website for 3 minutes has much more value than the guy who have left after your website after 30 seconds. It's the same for the page view. So someone who have seen 5 pages on your website has much more interest and value for you than the guy who just have seen the landing page. And then definitely one option I would recommend to do is the similar audience, or it is called lookalike in Facebook and Instagram. But if you are not aware about that, so similar and lookalike is actually Google will try to reach other profiles, or new profiles with the same characteristic than your primary audiences. They are based on more than 150 signals to see, okay, this person has maybe 20, 30, 40, 100 same characteristic than your primary audiences. And your primary audiences could be the people who are visiting your website, but also your past purchaser or your clients, and something like that. Okay, so another overview about the creation of your own audience across the platform. So as I said at the beginning, a lot of possibilities are available across the different platforms, but some of them are only coming soon. The example is the similar audiences for Bing. It is a very already well known and used product, I would say, in Google or in Facebook, but it's only coming soon and rolling out in Bing interface. Sometimes if you are not on a daily basis on the audiences, digital audience world, it's tricky to know exactly, okay, but this naming what it is, because as I said, they all do the same but with a different name. So lookalike audiences are similar audiences in Google and stuff like that. So this is why I put you all the characteristic of this product across all the platform. Then if we go a bit more into the B2B strategies, so for not for e-commerce but for lead gen, these are a few examples you can do. Some I did all of them, and it works very well. So of course, as I said, upload all your converters and the visitor of maybe the thank you page after the form is submitted. But again, if you want to build a remarketing scenario and go and follow the leads across all the customer journey and be present at each step of the conversion funnel, it's very nice to do that. Other option is if you have cross-selling or upselling, definitely a good things to do is upload your customer, and after a few time reminds him, okay, it's maybe time to purchase again. Maybe it's tricky in B2B, but I think it could be on a long period. If I give you an example, I was working for a car dealer, and what we've done is to upload all the people with bought a Volkswagen Polo 4 years ago, because the clients knows that a lot of people change of cars after 4 years. And then we upload these audiences, and the message was, hey guys, the new Polo is now available, and you can just come in the shop and test drive it, or order it, and something like that. So again, it is, I think, a very good example of the right message to the right audience at the right moment. Because if you are still thinking about, okay, maybe it's time to change my car, and then suddenly you see a very relevant ad across all platform, okay, the new Volkswagen is out, you are definitely on the right time. Then the second point, the non-converter. Of course, if you have an account creation on your website, create an audience of all the people who have created the account but did not contact you, did not complete the form, starting a contact form but did not complete it. You can create audience from this, and then joined the lead across his or her decision. It's worked well. The new versus returning user, again, especially for that, if someone is brand new on your website and is visiting your website for the first time, it is totally different that someone who is visiting your website 3 times a week. So definitely create separate audience, and then accordingly choose a different message for them. The page view, also, if you have a large panel of product or services, create audience based on product category. Because again, if I have to be retarget, I really prefer that it is relevant for me. So for instance, okay, it's not B2B, but it does work for your product and service. If I go on MediaMarkt website and I'm looking for a new laptop, then I would like to be in the laptop visitor audiences and not in the television one. Because if I am retargeted with the television, I would like, okay, but guys, I just don't care. I'm looking for laptop. So these are some example of what you can do with product groups. And then the time spent on the website and past behavior, again, check and website engagement metrics. So again, people who are coming often on your website and stay longer than others, they have more value, and they should be considered in a different way. Okay, so another useful audiences, definitely the audience based on content view. So I started the presentation by saying that there is 2 important things in B2B marketing: content and audiences. So this is the first one. All the content you have created, so blog, article, product guide, video, whatever you think. Do not lose all of the time you have spent on the creation of this thing, but create the audience for people who have seen this video, read this blog article, and you will then know, okay, this audience is interested by a specific services or by a specific product categories. You can then combine what I've said in the previous slide. For example, if people is spending 3 minutes on specific section of your website, and then will download a brochure and then watch a video about the same product category, then you can regroup, okay, people who have downloaded that, view this, and consulted this web page. You can regroup all together in one audience based on, okay, this is a product X interest. And then you know that you can create specific content and go further with this audience, but only on specific product category. So I just check the last question. The another thing you can do, a very important thing that not many people does, is the when you create the audience for your remarketing audience from people from your website, be aware that a lot of them will bounce. So you really need to consider the bounce rate. In general, it's between 50 and 70% of bouncing people. So again, if you include all of your website visitor in the in your remarketing audience, you are spending money and time for the audience creation on people who maybe never convert. Because if someone is spending 10 seconds on your website, normally it didn't read your content, it didn't scroll down and so on. And what is scroll tracking? You can actually scroll, you can track the percentage of the page the people have scrolled. So for instance, if you retarget people who have seen only the top of your website, maybe it just say, okay, maybe this person is interested, but she only read the two sentences, so it's not a lot. And again, if you are targeting people who scroll down to the bottom of your website, it is very more relevant, because you know that this person is more sensible to the kind of content you have provided to him. For instance, for a blog article, if you want to know if people are reading your blog article, set up a scroll tracking. Because if you say, okay, I post a new blog article on my website, I had 100 visitors yesterday, but how many of the 100 have actually read your article until the end? You don't know that, except to have a scroll tracking. Of course, it's not 100% accurate, because some people just scroll by mistake and so on, but this is a much more accurate view than only people visiting your website. How do you accomplish that tracking? It's platform-based. No, it's actually an event that you have to create in Google Tag Manager if you are using a GTM. But yeah, it's a piece of code, and it's an event you have to set up in GTM. I say GTM because we use it a lot, but there is other platform. But yeah, it's an event like you will set up, like clicking on a button or something like that. Then people will watch your video if you use video. If not, I do recommend to use it, especially in B2B. But people who have watch a certain percentage of your video, that's also very interesting. If people have watched 10 seconds or 3 minutes, again, they have not the same interest, and you can go you can be more pushy with the guys who have seen 75% of your video, because you know that he's definitely more interested than the others. Okay, so I see some questions before going the tactics. Do you believe customer match is well suited for B2B? Yeah, I know. The email problem. So what you mean is sometimes it's maybe for all of us the same. I use my professional email address for business to business and professional contact and so on, and then I have another private email address. So when you upload all the professional email address you have collected, Facebook or Google cannot match the Google or Facebook profile. It is indeed a problem, and yes, sometimes in B2B we have a matching rate less high than B2C. But again, I think the technology will evolve, and Facebook know that I am working at UniverSharing because I put it on my profile. So even if I do not use my professional email address for my Facebook profile, he knows that I'm working at UniverSam. So maybe that, yeah, maybe they will evolve the matching characteristic or something like that. And then we very often talk about email addresses, but there are plenty of other way to match phone number, addresses. If you have the postal addresses of again, it's maybe the company and not the not the house of your prospect, but the phone number. If today not many people have different phone number, one for private and one for professional. Try like that, but again, of course, there are some limitation by doing this. But if you have only 30, 35, 40% of matching rate between your list and Google or Facebook profiles, it's already interesting to use that. Okay, guys, a lot of questions. I will try to. How can Google differentiate B2B and B2C profile? Well, but first is the email address. So for instance, yeah, he knows that UniverSam is a company, and my email address finished by universam.com. It's a yeah, B2B and company addresses, and it's not, yeah, the opposite is Gmail. When you are using Gmail for Google, you are a B2C. But again, you need to have the global picture between, because today we are in B2B conference, but maybe tomorrow I will see some of you at I take an example, but at restaurant, and we will be in a B2C environment, but we can start talking about audiences. So if I'm looking for best digital marketing in 2020 on my private laptop, on my professional laptop, Google knows that this person is looking for a marketing agency, and it doesn't matter if it does that with his private address or his professional address. If B2B, again, I think Google can match can match, and he knows that William Tinant at universam.com is exactly the same person than William Tinant at gmail.com, because I use the same laptop, I use the same smartphone, and so on. So he knows that I have two email address and so on, but I think he's able to understand that it is only one person, and Facebook does that as well. Does Facebook still a relevant platform for B2B? Yes, definitely. I will show you some example just later. Okay, guys, we have normally 15 minutes left, so I will continue and try to answer at the end if we still have time. If you have precise question, do not hesitate to send me an email. I will show you, we will send you the presentation by email after. So if you have some cases you want to talk about and stuff like that, please reach me out. But yeah, we run out of time, so I continue. Because what maybe is the most interesting part is the audience tactic. So LinkedIn is obviously one of the very good channel to use for B2B audiences. I would definitely recommend to combine job title with skills or experience, because sometimes, again, including myself, we create a broad audience on LinkedIn, and we start to choose different job titles. So, okay, but I don't know if you have ever seen that, but when you are starting to create the audience and you want to target marketing manager, I think there is more than 100 way of saying marketing manager on LinkedIn. But all of these person will have in common marketing in their skills. So that's why I found this solution, and yeah, it's not always a game changer, but honestly, before creating a list of 100 job title, go with the skill match on LinkedIn. It is much more easy to do. It takes less time, and you will have a broader audience. Use the company size. Of course, again, it's maybe basic, but if you are selling a CRM for a company with at least 100 employees, yeah, make sure that you exclude the smallest companies, stuff like that. Also, try to have industries in your audience, because sometimes you can target very precise industries, and again, it is, yeah, sometimes and not always, but it is way more easy to do than just, okay, we go to with the job title or company name. But if you have I hope for you have a long list of prospect of people that can be one day your clients. So again, go with industry. And you can also use negative audience. So for instance, your existing clients, if you want to focus on reaching new prospect and new people, make sure that you exclude your clients. Two way of working on LinkedIn. The first one is go with a general audiences, and the second one is a very more precise one, so niche audience. To answer the question, on Facebook, you can target by location, job title, demographic, and industries, and of course, obviously, interest. But what I think is interesting is the combination of every, maybe not every, but of several targeting attributes. Because if you are only targeting job title on Facebook, yeah, maybe the guy was marketing manager, but it was 5 or 10 years ago, and he didn't update his profile. So, but if you are maybe combine the job title with the demographic and with an industry, it is more relevant. These options obviously exist also in LinkedIn. But then for the niche audience, how to create a niche audience is by, like I said, the combination of different factor. Maybe I will show you an example. It's more easy to understand. On the left, it's an example I just made this week on Facebook. So this Facebook audience is based on industries and job title, and can reach more than 20,000 profile. On the right, it's a LinkedIn audience, also based on industries, but also user skills, company size, and job seniorities. Of course, then you can really go into detail and start from your broad audience, so all of the people you want to target, to a very a smaller one and more precise one, and then you can start to create some specific content for them. If you have different product or services depending the industry, maybe try to have a specific campaign for real estate, or for banking and so on. If you have different product and services, create different audience and propose them a different content. Be aware of two things. LinkedIn is in general more up to date than Facebook for when we talk about job title, and reflect a real job. And as we are living in a small country, it is sometimes difficult to have at least the minimum of members in the LinkedIn audience. I would definitely recommend to have at least 10,000 profile in your audience. LinkedIn will allows you to create your campaign and start running your campaign with the official minimum is 1,000, but then the algorithm will not work properly. The cost per click will be higher. Last time I tried a very precise audiences. My cost per click was 15 euro, I think, something like that. Never see that before. I think it's a bit scandal. Honestly, it's not relevant to have such a cost per click like that. This is why I would recommend to have 10,000 for your LinkedIn audience. It's more relevant. So other audience tactic, the amplification. So I will explain you what are the advanced lookalike. So I explained at the beginning, but similar audience lookalike, it's the same. And then what it is you tell Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, whatever, to reach profile with the same characteristic than your primary audience. And often we start with, okay, create the similar audience from my website visitors. Okay, great. Or even from my past purchaser, if you have an e-commerce, or from your clients, if you upload the list. Okay, that's super great if you are already doing that, but there is more possibility. I list a few examples there. The value of purchase, again, if people bought a small product of your best clients, they don't have the same value. Conversion frequency, I know we are talking about B2B marketing, but some of your product and your services can be bought several times. So again, conversion frequency is important. Time spent on site, I have mentioned that before. Percentage of video watch, again, and group of specific page. So product categories. Again, before thinking about similar audience, we need to think about primary audience, but then it makes sense if you are starting to create audience with some product categories, with percentage of video watch and so on. Start thinking about create lookalike audiences from there. Normally the result will be very, very nice. And last part about audience tactics is the reduction. So for example, we discussed it before, but if someone has converted on your website 2 weeks ago, are they likely to convert again? If not, you can create the audience from the people who have contacted you or purchased something from you 2 weeks ago, and then exclude them, because you don't want to spend money on people who cannot buy your product. Okay, so for example, if I take back the example of the car dealer, the remarketing is a long process, because we don't buy a car like we buy a shirt, definitely. But when the guys have bought the car, obviously we really need to exclude them of any of your campaigns, because we know that he will not buy another car in 1 month or even 1 year. If you have a list of 1,000 of any numbers that with a high detail, a high detail list you can reach by phone or email, is it really necessary to make a paid campaign to reach them? Honestly, it's a question. I don't know. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. For instance, if you have 50% of the list you can reach by email or by phone, it's fine, and then divide your 1,000 list by 2 and upload the other 500 profile in Google or Facebook, and make campaigns only for them, and exclude people you can contact in another way. Also, if you want to focus on acquisition especially, and new lead or new clients, then create separate remarketing audience and exclude them. You can exclude, you can create an audience of your client and exclude all your prospect, and do the opposite. So create an audience of your prospect and exclude all of your clients. And another thing it's important, I think we don't all do that. It's use the data from our other campaigns to improve the next one. If I take an example, so this is a screenshot from LinkedIn. Here I can check the impression and all the KPI you want, so CTR and reach and conversion rate and so on, for a specific job function. and I can see there, okay, these type of and kind of job function have very good results, and at the opposite, these doesn't have good results. So next time when you create a new campaign, you can start maybe with the audience that you know had very nice results in your past campaigns, and maybe exclude the attribute that that doesn't have a good result. And so we have normally 3 minutes left. So to finish, and finally, I would like to show you brand new stuff. So I don't know if you are aware of that, because yeah, I think it's almost brand new. You can actually on LinkedIn see the website demographics. So any of the targeting attribute on LinkedIn that I've listed before, you can see, okay, which job title is visiting my website, from which industry are the people who visited my website, which company size is visiting my website, which seniority are the people who is visiting my website. And then you have here the change about you have the delta from the previous period, and you can also here check the time range. So very nice functionality to see, okay, if the people who are visiting my website right now are the same people than my clients. If not, of course, there is always a bit of waste, but if not, maybe the targeting of your campaigns or the content you are creating is not the most relevant one. And finally, another maybe hidden feature of Bing. I don't know if many of you are doing Bing search campaigns, but this is interesting. Actually, you can include all the LinkedIn targeting attribute in your search campaigns. So I took the same. I take the same example than before. But if you are selling a CRM for company with minimum 100 people, you can say, okay, you have all your search ads and keywords and something like that, but you can limit your campaigns for a company with at least 100 people, and then you will definitely save money and also save time, because if you are spending click on people who cannot be your clients, it's useless. And again, if you have a lot of leads and you have to answer them, okay, but what is it for? What is your company size? And finally, after 5 minutes at the phone, the guy say, okay, but we are only 5 there. Okay, it's time lost. So again, a very nice feature, even if, okay, I accept that Bing is not cannot be compared to Google, but again, it's a nice feature. And then my last slide is a global overview of one of remarketing scenario that we are doing at UniverSharing for clients. So it's one example, but all we have discussed regarding the audience and so on, this is the final goal, is to have something like that, is to have a very precise, tailor-made marketing, remarketing scenario for each step of the conversion funnel. And as you can see on the picture, we analyze different KPIs, we use different channels, we use different audience, and we definitely reach with a different message. And finally, once you have wrap up and understand, fully aware of the audience usage, this is something you can start creating. And yeah, this kind of stuff works very well, of course. So insight to take away: Facebook can be used to target B2B audiences, but also test Instagram. As I said, it's not big. Yeah, just another the 5 insight to take away: base your decision on data. If you work on digital marketing, you have data and then base your decision on the data you are collecting. At the beginning, I was thinking, okay, but Instagram, it's too young, it's too girly. I do not have a super beautiful picture of a landscape and so on. Okay, but all of these are a priori, and maybe try to with another type of content, of course, an adapted content, but try it. You can be surprised. Second one, LinkedIn offers more granular targeting. Definitely, you know that LinkedIn is the B2B channel, of course, but by mixing the combination between them, we can really create interesting audiences. Find new customer with different audience tactic like identification, amplification, and reduction. And finally, as I just show you, use sequential or remarketing campaigns to follow the not the customer, the prospect or the consumer at each step of the funnel. Instagram works fine for us. I'm really happy to hear that. That's good news. Okay, so guys, I will finish there, but I will read all of your question and try to answer with the presentation. As I said before, if you have other question or if you would like to discuss about this topic, please do not hesitate to reach me out. I hope you enjoy it and you learn something. It was a pleasure for me to share my little knowledge with you. I hope to do that again. And yeah, have a very warm afternoon. Okay, I see your thanks message. Yeah, my pleasure. Very nice. No bullshit at all. You can really trust UniverSharing webinar. Not in general, all the time. We really share what we know and when we think. Sometimes it's necessary to be a bit more inspirational, but as you can see, I had to begin with the basics, but then I show you brand new stuff that we are only starting to apply on our clients. So yeah, definitely no bullshit. It's not interesting for me and not for you. Okay. Okay, if you have time, I have time too, so maybe I can answer. Yeah, maybe ask your question in the chat now, so I know you are there, and I can answer the question. Will we get the presentation? Yes, of course. Yes, you will be informed of the next webinar, as we now have your email address in your database. Very good question about Firefox blocking cookies. I think I can make another presentation about cookies, but yeah, this time we will need more than 1 hour. It's a very complex topic and definitely a good one. And people who are now thinking about the next step in a cookie-less world, I think yeah, it's a very nice level of maturity in digital that you have. To answer your question, start to collect data in another way than cookies. So, for instance, if you propose webinar to your prospect or lead, you then collect email address. You can discuss with people and stuff like that. And this is a way around to collect. I don't need your cookies anymore because I know I have your email address. So it's an example, but do organize open doors, physical open door, for instance, and try to collect data in another way than cookies, because I think it was yesterday night the Google CEO, so in San Francisco, and not Europe, so Google World, have announced that they are still working on the consumer privacy, and they've reduced the maximum time of cookie collection. So it was, I don't remember how long it was, but no, it is 18 months. So yeah, it's still a lot for marketing campaigns, but I do believe that in 2 years, 1 year, I don't know, 5 years, this 18 months will become maybe 1 day. So you need to think about, okay, what will be my digital marketing campaigns once the cookies is deleted just after the website, and that is a very good question. AI, yeah, we discussed AI is also a very famous topic in this time. I don't know. I'm not an AI specialist, not at all. But from our side and point of view and daily basis, we do use AI with marketing automation. So we try to understand, okay, what are the non-relevant tasks we have to do on a daily basis, for example, and we try to automate this. AI is also a part of our job in advertising, because we use smart bidding. So smart bidding strategy is not only cost per click for your campaigns, but you can pay per conversion and so on. So these are all AI, and it will definitely be a hot topic. It already is a hot topic, but definitely Google and the others, maybe more Facebook than Google, will try to implement AI further. When creating a lookalike audience, do you still need to do exclusion, or the algorithm trust for fee? That's actually the problem with the algorithms. It is trust for free, but to which point we don't know. So again, if you want to make a lookalike of your customer, normally a lookalike means new reach, new profiles. So yeah, in theory, a lookalike is only new, and the algorithm will automatically exclude the people from your primary audience. But if you can exclude them, it's not complicated to do. It's not time consuming again. But yeah, in theory, it's not necessary. And you was targeting yourself. Yeah, definitely weird. In this case, yeah, if you have proof that the algorithm reaches its limit, yeah, exclude your customer. I think we need to completely review how we do online marketing. Yes, good question. Maybe not today, but I think I am senior consultant at UniverSharing, so I work for clients, but I manage to have a part of my time on a week to just think about stuff and yeah, and maybe try to anticipate the future decision. Of course, we are definitely supported by Facebook and Google and every other channel. We have the support, so we have partnered with them, but we stay an independent agency, and we are not fully aware of the big change they are doing in the future. So it is important to take a break in the week or one a month, and okay, we do that at UniverSharing. We discuss with all the team, the advertising team. We do a brainstorming and discuss about, okay, but do you have an idea of a world without cookies or something like that? Okay, I see other question. Okay, no other question, guys. Okay, someone is typing. So and yeah, maybe a thing that I hope you understand that with the presentation I did, but UniverSum is it's not there only to execute some from the basic to the most advanced action, but we are really here to discuss with you about problematic, your business problematic, marketing problematic, and advise you on the best strategy to have. So our job and yeah, my job, my daily job is not only go into the Google Ads interface and try to change the cost per click and so on. Of course, it's a task that needs to be done, but I'm also here, and we are all here to join you and discuss about your problematic. Yes, it's nice, definitely. Yeah, no Google Analytics, no Google Ads, no Facebook. It is, but it's how to say that it's yeah, it's a strong decision to do that, definitely, but it's important to think in the future how we can try to make nice stuff again. I would say without any cookies. So if you don't have any question, I will leave you there. But thanks again for your time. It was really a pleasure to present you this. I hope to see you again in another webinar, or maybe at a meeting, or around a drink at Google or our office. Yeah, we can soon discuss about all of that in real, I guess. So thank you, Sandra. Okay, bye bye, guys.